So a couple of years ago, way back when I was around 13, 14 years old, I used to be mad about skateboarding. That was about the one thing I wanted to do, right? I was just a small little kid with very skinny hands and pretty short, like 5'3", I think. I didn't have that many friends, but skateboarding was an amazing way for me to fill up the silence, I guess. I loved talking to people, but it's just that I didn't have that many people to talk to. So I used to just skateboard every single fucking day, no matter the weather, no matter the time, because I would always find time to skate, right? It used to be my favorite hobby, but as time went on and I soon entered high school, things started to take a turn because the judgment from other people soon started to really have an impact on my mind. I'm gonna tell you a story to back that up, because before even the school year started, we used to have like this meeting, I guess, where all of the people from the class are gonna like meet up. We're all gonna introduce ourselves, make some friends, just meet the whole classroom for the first time, right? So of course, I brought my skateboard. And I think I had it like right behind my backpack, and I was just like walking with it. Once we finally sat down, right? And I had the board like right next to me. Somebody finally asked me about it, and that's when the whole conversation shifts towards skateboarding, right? Because oh my god, this guy knows how to skate. This guy's so cool, right? At least I like to think that's what people thought. But the attention was on me, right? The attention was on me, and I felt so like, yeah, you want to talk about the thing that I want to do. I was like excited and shit with this like funny feminine ass expression. Until one point, this one guy in particular, he's from my class, like he's fucking chill, but back then I didn't know him, right? He asked me if I can do a kickflip. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you know what a kickflip is. It's about the most signature trick there is in skateboarding. It's the trick everybody does in movies. So he asked me if I can do it, and I just tell him I can't, because I'm still pretty new to it. At the time, I think I had only a year into skating. I should have known how to do a kickflip, but I took my progress pretty slowly, like whatever, right? All you have to know is that I didn't know how to do it, right? I could only do a ollie, I think, so that's what ended up happening. The moment I tell them, oh yeah, I can do a kickflip. What about you doing? Why don't you do an ollie instead? Why not? So it's like, okay. And I stand in front of the whole group. There was around 20, almost 30 people. My class consists of 32 people now, but I don't know how many people there back then. It doesn't matter, right? There was a shit ton of people looking at me. So I stand in front of all of them. I'm standing on the board trying to like do the trick. I don't get it. I failed what is one of the most basic tricks in skateboarding, which is literally just to jump up with the board, right? And they gave me like 2 more attempts. At this point, that didn't even matter, right? Because I failed all of them. I don't know if it was the pressure or whatever, but I failed all the attempts, right? That's when the same guy asked me if he can do it, right? He grabs my board, he stands on it, does a ollie. He does an ollie way higher than the one I did, right? And everybody's impressed at him, even though he doesn't skate at all. He just knew how to do that one trick. So I'm feeling embarrassed, right? I don't think they were thinking about me all the time. I mean, of course they weren't, right? But I was stuck in this negative loop of just thinking to myself, I wanted to be a skater, now I'm not, because this guy's better, blah, 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 right? It's gotten into a point where even my nickname was a skater. Fun fact, 4 years later, now that I'm in senior year and I'm about to leave high school soon, all the same classmates, they still call me skater, right? I haven't touched skateboard in like 3 years, but going back to the story, from that point on, my overall motivation for skateboarding slowly started to dial down, right? And over time, those voices out here from other people telling me that, oh yeah, you're not good. Fuck, you're not good, bro. You've been skating for how long? A year? You can't even do a kickflip, bro. Just stop. These voices started to have a much bigger impact, and they followed me for a very, very long time. Until one point, shit finally hit the dam, right? The fan, whatever, right? It's gotten into a point where it was undescribable. That's probably the best way to call it. I came back from the skate shop, right? It's a place where you buy all the equipment for skateboarding, right? The decks, the trucks, the wheels, all that shit, right? And I came in with a new setup. I think I bought a new board, but what really matters, right? The key thing that I've purchased in that very moment was a beautiful, stylish, magnificent pink grip tape. Now, like it or not, I know it's not the most masculine thing ever. It's stylish from a skateboarder standpoint. All the if there's a single skateboarder watching me, you know the drill, right? But I go to the nearest skate park that's in my town, and there's a lot of scooter kids there. You know the guys I'm talking about, right? They all have like this funny ass scooter they can like do tricks on. They have a vape in one hand, pocket knife in the other, is like a BMW on their hat, baggy jeans. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to describe it to you, right? These guys, what are they known for? They're annoying little kids who love to judge people. And I was a even smaller little kid who feared being judged. Even though I loved to be around people, I used to be terrified of that feeling of having fingers pointing at me, laughing at me as I'm standing like all alone by myself. That's exactly what happened, you know? I wanted to skate. All the skateboarders there, they loved the board, right? It was stylish. Back then, all I could think about were the negatives. I wasn't focusing on the positives at all. Because there was people who didn't like the board who were literally pointing fingers at me. Look at this fucking dumbass. He has a pink board. Come on. What the fuck is this guy? He has a pink board and he can't even do a kickflip. What the fuck? Look at this fucking dumbass. He can't even do an ollie properly. Would you let that influence you? I hope most of you probably wouldn't give a fuck and keep doing your own thing, but back then I was a little kid, 13, perhaps even 14 years old, something around that, right? I let that influence me a lot, and the very same day I came back home, I grabbed my skateboard, put it in the corner of the room, and never touched it since. And to be fair, that's probably about one of the biggest regrets I have to this day. The fact that I gave up and that I didn't keep going, because I was at a perfect age to start. As I said, I was around 13, 14 years old. That's like a perfect age to start a sport. If I kept going, I genuinely wonder where I would be at right now. But because I listened to what the other guys have to say, I'm here where I am right now. Am I in a bad position? Absolutely not. But keep in mind, my whole life used to revolve around skateboarding. Yeah, I have it to this day. The room's the exact same, my friend. Skateboards are everywhere here. It's on the wall that you can't see. It's right on my lamp. I still have around 3 other boards in the same corner. It used to be my thing, but I gave it up because I was afraid of what others are gonna talk about me. So I switched to something else. Started playing basketball instead because it had a similar vibe to it. I played for around a year and a half before my high school picked me to the team. I was sitting at the very back of the bench, but when you do the math, I was playing the game for 1.5 years. Whilst the guys I was playing against, they've been playing on competition since they were kids. So, you know, I got whooped. I got whooped fairly easily, you know, regardless of how much I practiced, regardless of how much I trained. Some of the guys would still kick my ass, even though I was pretty good for the amount of time I've been playing ball, right? But what do you think people kept telling me? Oh shit, what was the point of playing? The guys who've been playing for longer than me, but they haven't even got on the teams from their schools. The guys were fucking shit. That's the guys who I was listening to. Was I bad? Probably. I definitely had some flaws in my game. It's not like I was perfect, but I, once again, let these thoughts and these opinions others have define my actions. And once again, I was sitting there with the question, should I continue? Should I keep going? What's the point? What's the point if I'm always going to be judged? Please, if there is one crucial mistake guys do nowadays, especially young people, teenagers, they are so afraid of this feeling of judgment. That's why you've been hooked on this video for like, what, fucking 9 minutes? It's crazy out here, man. This is probably a longer video, so grab your popcorns and all that, because we're gonna sit there for a while. But I'm telling you, brother, don't listen to what others have to say. Trust me, Imagine where I would be at right now if I kept skating. I wasn't the best, but it's been 3 years from that point, 3 or 4, right? I'm a senior year now. It's been a long time. I wonder where I would be at right now. Maybe I would be skating on some competitions, winning awards. Okay, I can't let my ambitions get too big, but you get where I'm going with this, right? Things could have looked completely different, but because I've given up to what other people have to say, I'm in a completely different place where I anticipated to be, right? Now, I'm still very grateful for where I am right now, right? I love my YouTube. I love basketball. There have been many new things I've discovered in the past few years. But it's different. It's different, right? And recently I heard a quote, not even a quote, it's a downright fact that hit me deeply. And it's, what do you think is the most common regret when people are on their deathbed? You might have already heard of this, so you know what I'm going to talk about. But for those who don't, right? When people get old, not even old, when people are on the edge of death, when they're lying in the hospital, like barely conscious, and somebody asks them, what's the thing that you regret the most throughout your existence on this very planet? All of them will say, not all, but most, they'll all tell you the exact same thing. Oh wait, the fuck? I just ruined the clip. Most of them will tell you the same thing. The most common regret when people are on their deathbed is the fact simply that they've been living the life that they didn't want to live. They lived the life that others wanted them to live. You know that feeling when your parents tell you to go to university even though you didn't want to? That's one of my biggest fears to this day. I have 1 year left of school, and then who knows? I'm supposed to go to uni, but I don't even know what I want to study. Yeah, I've been thinking about social psychology here and there because this channel is about social skills and it's what I'm teaching you about right now, but you never know, right? And when you're at a young age and you develop this fear of saying what you have on your mind because you're afraid of getting yelled at or making fun of, that sticks with you for a long time, for most people to the rest of their lives. The earlier this occurs to you, the worse, honestly, you know. And the more time you let that adapt into your way of thinking, the more it starts to affect you later down the line. This is a difficult video for me, not gonna lie. The amount of times this this pattern repeated itself throughout my life is well, there aren't that many, but the influence it had is drastic, you know. So sure, this isn't the video that sounds nice and has like cool edits. Go watch Mr. Beast for that. Those are the type of videos you get value from. And if you want to remember one thing from this video, just don't give a fuck. Don't give a flying fuck about what people have to say, because people are gonna talk anyway. When I was skateboarding, they told me I was bad. They told me, oh, give up, do something else. So I did. And I started to play basketball. I actually put my effort into it. I was playing day in, day out, constantly practicing, trying to earn my way onto the team. And when I did, even though I was at the very back of the bench, what do you think happened? What do you think people told me? You fucking ass, go back to skateboarding. It's gonna repeat in your life constantly. If you're gonna believe it fuck. If you're gonna adapt this belief into your mind, it's gonna stick like fucking glue. So it's on you to make the decision whether if you want others to dictate the way you want to live, or if you want to do the hard thing, the right thing, which is to follow what you truly want. Because you're gonna suffer from it later down the line. The suffering you have to go through to get to where you want to be is 100 times better than to go through the suffering that involves doing the quote-unquote easier thing, which is to do what others tell you to do. Live your life the way you want to live. That's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video full-on yappery, but yeah, brother, shit. This has been a while. For those who are wondering why I didn't upload it Monday or last Friday, sorry, I had my wisdom tooth pulled out. If you look, okay, it's hard to notice now because it's gotten really small, but they removed my wisdom tooth from my left side and my cheek got all puffed up. But yeah, I've still been working. I've been working in the shadows. I've started to work something. I started to work on something very big. So if you know, you know. And yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time anymore, right? So if you want to hang around an amazing community of like-minded people who all share the same interests, and it's not like any other fucking Discord server. I mean, if you watched at this point of the motherfucking video, fucking 16 minutes in, I'm telling you, brother, that this is the community you're looking for. Weekly calls, checked. Active community, checked. Actual friends, checked. Multiple of a matter of fact. You're not gonna miss out when you join this place. Trust me. It's probably one of the best links you're gonna click on today. But if not, click all the videos if you want to. I mean, you can always subscribe. Okay, you've had enough. Go do whatever you think is right, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one, brother. So, take care.